When voters pull a government down to slender majority or even minority, much comes down with it. That includes many of the manifesto promises campaigned on for weeks. How much of Malcolm Turnbull's National Economic Plan passes into law is an open question now for the 45th Parliament to answer. Our political reporter Dan Conifer picks through the political rubble of the Coalition's main election policies.
Crisscrossing the continent over 8 weeks, Malcolm Turnbull's message remained consistent.
Growth and jobs.
Supporting jobs.
Supporting jobs and growth with a clear national economic plan.
And central to that plan were company tax cuts. As proposed, small businesses with annual turnover below $10 million would get relief this financial year, with the rate dropping 1% to 27.5%. Then, year by year, more and more firms would be paying this 27.5% rate before it covered every firm in 2023-24, before the rate for all of them dropped to 25%. That was the plan, but it appears the best the government can do is drop the rate by 1% for businesses earning less than $10 million a year, with the support of Nick Xenophon's team and perhaps other parts of the Senate crossbench. While another part of the budget under pressure is the government's plan to rein in superannuation tax concessions, something causing anger within Liberal ranks. After tax contributions, currently capped at $180,000 a year, would be limited to $500,000 over a lifetime. And retirement accounts would no longer be tax-free entirely. Starting balances would be capped at $1.6 million.
If there's too much change in it, people will lose confidence in it, and I don't think that is a good thing.
Questions about what happens about the budget ultimately will be a matter for the Cabinet and the government. But what I'm saying is we have a mandate, and I believe we should put up the budget as it is.
I'm now married.
The government's proposed national vote on same-sex marriage could take place by year's end. Labor and the Greens want the vote held in Parliament, but have not ruled out backing the plebiscite. Nick Xenophon supports same-sex marriage and also wants the vote held in Parliament.
Rather than having $160 million spent in what will be the world's most expensive opinion poll.
And then there's the reason we just had a double dissolution election. Parliament not passing the government's union-busting workplace relations bills, including resurrecting the Howard-era Australian Building and Construction Commission. But even though Malcolm Turnbull says those bills will be back, some within government concede their chances of passing are already dead.
Long before those industrial bills come up for debate, there's much for the second Turnbull government to do, and the Prime Minister's moving to do them. He's returning to Canberra tonight to start work on a ministry that's lost 3 junior ministers and which needs to accommodate a bigger, possibly even bolder, National Party too. Then there's policy work being signalled on Medicare and the ever-present threat of a credit rating downgrade if budget repairs neglected. Malcolm Turnbull faces what he calls the glorious, heavy and inspiring responsibility of leading the nation. The events of the last 9 weeks certainly mean the weight of high office has never been greater.